Alright guys, so we are back here for AOR round number 15 here for the Malaysian Grand Prix at Sepang, and heading into this round, I believe I was in third in the championship still. We were gradually closing on the top two in the championship, and before this round I wasn't feeling that confident because throughout practice I really did struggle to find good pace around here, but then eventually on the Sunday when I was practicing I seemed to eventually get to grips with the track and started to find some good pace. So we're feeling kind of confident, and hopefully we can get another podium like we did at Singapore here today and try and close Ali K and Synthetic down a bit more in the championship. And this is my fastest lap in qualifying. You can see currently we're provisionally P3 at the moment, so I'm going to try and improve and try and get on the front row. That's the aim if possible, but you can see heading around the fast flowing left and right handers here, braking into this double apex right hander, going 5th gear, taking that pretty nicely, trying not to run out too wide, and now heading into the hairpin, a really difficult corner, braking at the 100-meter board, going into 2nd gear temporarily, short shifting up into 3rd then 4th, and taking that really well. And you can see we're now 2/10 up on the delta and going purple as well. So at this moment we're going to be on course to take P1 on the grid, but of course other people are going to be trying to improve their laps as well, and this will be probably our last lap in the session unless I feel like I have to go again, and I might have to go again after that corner there, which wasn't taken well at all. I think I probably lost about 1/10.5 from that, which in a league like this where it's really close in qualifying, that could cost you multiple positions on the grid. So heading around the final corner, 3rd gear, 4th gear, opening DRS as early as you can, towards the line we go, and we go fastest with a 30.8, which is a decent time. I don't remember what sort of times I was doing in practice, as this happened about a week and a half ago from when I'm commentating now, but we're going again anyway because I feel like we can go quicker. And you can see Aresi's put up 30.7, and that might be good enough for pole from him. So we're going again. You can see up on the delta through turn number 1 and 2. It was all about that penultimate corner really. I think that's what is going to cost me a few positions. So you can see taking 4th gear around turn number 4, that's pretty nicely taken. 7th gear through this section, taking that pretty well but losing a bit of time. And you can see we're going back green on the delta again, but we're gradually catching up to a car in front. And I always find that on qualifying laps when you have a car in front, it does distract you an awful lot. It just takes away your eye line a bit. And you can see Alberto has put up a time of a 30.6, and that's going to be hard to beat, although we're still going purple at the moment. So it's all about how we can take this penultimate corner to see whether we can get pole position here today. So 6th gear, 7th gear, taking this flat out through the left hander, and here we go. Can we get this right this time? Taking a very wide line, and it's not perfect, and in fact it's actually slower than the last lap, and we're actually down in the delta, although we're gradually closing on it as we got a better exit this time around. But heading towards the final corner, if we're going to improve, it's going to be very minor improvements, so it's not going to be great. And you can see we've actually lost time there around the final corner, and we're not going to improve, so we're going to retire now. And I did not the aim was to improve, and unfortunately I've now made my tyres a bit more worn out for the start of the race. But anyway, it is P4, Alberto on pole, 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go here for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Once again, not getting a great start, and already Carrick's has pulled alongside us to the right hand side there, but we're going to go to the left, and you can see there's a clear path in front of us, so we're going to brake really late, going right around the outside, almost making contact with Carrick's there. I think Synthetic dive bombed a couple of people, and we've actually made a bit more contact with Carrick's. I think he got some front wing damage and banging wheels there with Simo on the exit as well. So down into P4, remaining where we started, and going to try and overtake Simo into turn number 4 here, trying to go around the outside, but he covers that off pretty well for the time being. So we're going to stick in 4th place for the moment, and the aim was really to just keep up with these guys in front. I was hoping Alberto, to be honest, would win this race, not Aresi, because Aresi's won the last 2 races I think at this stage. So if he gets a 3rd, he's going to continue closing off on us in the championship, which is not what I want. And once he's on a roll, he's going to be difficult to beat, so we've got to try and beat him here today. But his pace was pretty insane in practice from what I remember, and yeah, we just got to see what we can do. And to be honest, I was really happy to be in 4th place at this moment, because I did not really expect to be in a competitive position from my practice really. I thought I'd be fighting outside the top 5, but as I said already, eventually I found some good pace around this circuit, and you can see Carrick's has dropped well behind us due to his damage, and he's holding up the likes of Synthetic and Ali K, who are the two in front of us in the championship. So you've got Ali K leading from Synthetic, then me, then Simo, I think, then Aresi, and gradually the top 5 are all closing up together in the championship. So this is going to be one heck of a battle in this championship, and we've got to keep our consistency up. And right now we're sticking with these guys in front, which I was pretty surprised about, and it's definitely going well for the moment. So we've got to see what we can do here as Alberto sets another fastest lap, and our time is only about a tenth slower than his, even though we're in the dirty air, so it's good signs at the moment. Having a look up the inside of Simo there, not really going to attempt anything there, I was just trying to put him off a bit. But we're sticking with these guys, and we have to wait what the others do in terms of strategy. But I was going to do a one stop super soft to soft, but you can see Simo's made a mistake there, and we're going to go alongside him here, and we've now got DRS and we're now right up behind him. And seeing as we're this close, we've got to go for it. This is our best opportunity so far here on lap form. We're going to go up the inside of Simo into the final corner, making a pretty nice move there, although he's still alongside us for the time being, opening DRS as well, so we've still got DRS, and we're going to pull away from him down the straight, cover the inside line immediately, and he's going to be in slipstream now. But we're now up into a podium position, so into P3, and top 2 are starting to pull away in front, but we've just got to wait and see what tyres they go on. I know it was debatable whether you went super soft soft or super soft medium, so we've got to wait and see what these guys do. But Simo sticking with us, but I just knew I just got to keep up consistent times really from here on, and you can see setting a personal best first sector of the race there, so that's once again good signs. But the top 2 are really starting to pull away, and Simo actually pitted the lap before this, so lap 7 to go into medium, so he's going to get a pretty big undercut. And you can see Aresi and Alberto have both pitted, and I don't know what tyres they're going to go onto at this stage, but I'm pretty sure Aresi was going to go onto the soft tyres. We'll have to wait and see what Alberto does, but we're continuing for another lap just to be safe really and not be under threat of getting a puncture towards the end. And yeah, we just got to, although we're going to lose time, I think in the long run it will be better, but got to try and minimise the effect of the undercut here. And I think Simo's going to get maybe a big undercut on us, and we'll have to wait and see what the others and their pace is like. But anyway, we're still actually keeping up with our best lap pace there through sector 1 anyway. But into the pits we go, going into lean mix now. We've got to try and be as aggressive as possible without speeding in the pit lane here. It's braking as hard as possible there, taking that pretty well. Could have gained more time, but obviously the risk is not worth the reward really when you come into the pits. So going to the soft tyres now, going to the end. Pretty good pit stop, 2.6 seconds I think that says, and we're going to have to wait and see where we come out. I think Ali K and Synthetic followed us in, I might be wrong about that, but Alberto is going to go past us now, so does Aresi. Alberto's on the medium tyres, so we might actually have a chance of catching him later on. And here comes Simo going round the outside, and he actually didn't give us any room there whatsoever as we came out the pits, and we made contact. That's probably lost us about a second, and to be honest I thought that was pretty unfair. Not gonna lie, I was not too happy with his driving there, and I was maybe going to take him to the stewards about that, but I don't know if it was really worth taking to the stewards. He probably didn't really see me, but anyway, we'll move on. We're going to have to try and catch up to, I think it's RC Wallen, who's yet to pit, and Simo's on the medium tyres as well, so we're going to have better pace than him, but towards the end of the race he's probably going to come back towards us, I should think, as our tyres wear out. So we've got to try and get past him and then extend a gap to him, and maybe try and catch Alberto as well, if Aresi and Alberto can have a battle, because Alberto is still in front at this stage. But RC Wallen is doing us a bit of a favour right now. He's holding up Simo, which may give us an opportunity down the back straight, or maybe even the front straight towards turn 1 again, to try and make a move on one of them, if not both of them. And see, they're both going a bit wide there, so we've now actually got an opportunity here with DRS to try and make a move down the back straight towards the final corner, and Simo's going to go for it on RC Wallen if he can go for it up the inside of the final corner. And RC Wallen doesn't really put up a fight towards us there. I don't know whether he let me through or something, but anyway, I thank him for that, because that's made my life a lot easier. I'm trying to get past Simo, and I can see the two in front are also battling into turn 1. We're possibly going to try and set up a move here on Simo into turn number 1, going really late on the brakes, diving up the inside pretty aggressively there. I knew I had to kind of slow him down as best as possible to try and get a run on him towards turn number 4. So going back into the slipstream now towards turn 4, are we going to go up the inside? He doesn't really defend it, so we're just going to go for it. Once again, much later on the brakes than him, and that is us now into P7, which is provisional P3 pretty much. So job done, and now we've got to try and extend the gap to him. And I definitely had a lot of confidence on the brakes around here. I'd always go for quite a few overtakes on the brakes, as you've seen already, and that was just due to the fact that I seem to have more confidence than other people with the settings I run, and the pedals also work really well for me, the Logitech pedals that I have. So lap 14 it is now, and we're already extending the gap to Simo, so that's really good signs. But Alberto still leads the race for now, and him and Aresi I think are still battling in front. So with 14 laps remaining, we just got to try and chip away at that gap if possible to try and fight for a second place. I had no idea at this stage, but he actually had a time penalty as well, so that's going to make our life a lot easier. But throughout the whole race I didn't know that, because the engineer always says if the car behind has a time penalty, not the car in front. So I had no idea, and you can see Jake LFC is the next car in front. I think he started on the soft tyres, so that's why he's going longer than anyone else with his strategy. But lap 16 it is now, and we've now caught up to him. We've got to try and get past him as quickly as possible. So we've got to try and get a good exit out of this corner. We've got DRS as well. So opening DRS now. Slipstream's not really that powerful on this game. Staying in standard, not really going to rich at the moment. But we're going to go for it up the inside and go for a pretty aggressive move there. But we get it done, and that's ourselves up into P5. So once again, provisional P3, as I think 2 people are yet to pit, and one of them's Big C is in the pits now. So Jake's actually in the slipstream. He's going to try and get us back into turn number 1, but I had to defend the inside line. Didn't want to be held up by a battle with him, so that's now us in P4 in a good position. We just got to focus in the next 11 laps to try and catch Alberto, and you can see moving on to lap 18 we've pulled away from Simo quite a bit, setting a personal best lap of the race of a 34.9, and you can see the gap's 2.7 seconds. So we just got to, as I've said many times, just put in consistent times and use the soft tyres whilst they're at their best. You can see already my left rear tyres at 33%, so we're going to try and look after them, but also try and be quick at the same time, which is actually quite hard to do. But you can see down to 2.4 already, so sector by sector we're closing on Alberto. And as I've said already, like at this stage I would be in front because of his penalty, but I didn't know that, so I was pushing 100% to try and overtake him on track and see what I could do. But Aresi's pace was just too strong, and it looks like he's going to take 3 in a row. So Japan next up, then USA, then Mexico, then Brazil. 4 tracks I like coming up, and then you got out Abu Dhabi, the last race. I don't particularly get on too well with that track, but hopefully this year we can have a good result around there. And obviously being in a championship fight with 4 other drivers, so 5 drivers in total, got to really keep our consistency up, hopefully be on the podium every race from now on, and who knows what we can achieve. Can't believe I'm even in the fight for the championship in my rookie season. It's something I never thought would ever happen, after saying at the start of the season I was just going to aim for small, like low end top 10 points really, try and get a couple of podiums maybe in the season. But 34.9, another personal best, down to 2.1 is the gap, but to be in the fight, as I've said already, is absolutely amazing, and I can't really believe it. But setting another personal best there, 34.8, and the gap is now down to 1.7, so step by step closing the gap on Alberto. He had really good pace considering he's on medium tyres, which work absolutely terribly. I think I did a practice race earlier on in the week, and I used mediums thinking that was the strategy, but the mediums feel absolutely awful. So his pace is pretty good considering how bad those tyres feel. But you can see my tyres are on 65%, so at this stage the mediums and softs are probably going to be equal, because of the fact the softs are just more worn out than the mediums. But Alberto did pit a lap before us, so I don't know what his tyre wear is going to be like, but we got DRS. This is the closest we've been so far this race, so going towards the outside line there, but switching to the inside now, down the inside of Alberto, making a bit of contact there, making a pretty aggressive move on the F1 esports finalist who made it to Abu Dhabi, so he's definitely a great driver, and to be fighting him is definitely a good sign for me. But lap 27, so we've got not many chances left to overtake him. He defends the inside line, not really going for anything too aggressive there. I don't really know why. I should have gone for a move up the inside there because there was an opportunity, but still, I think we're going to stay on board from here to the end, and we just got to stick with him, and hopefully we'll be able to DRS past him on the front straight or the back straight. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. He's actually pulled away a bit from us there in the middle sector, just purely because of the dirty air and also a couple of mistakes from myself. But at this stage the tyres are really feeling pretty awful, and you can see he's extended the gap up to 6/10, and not gonna lie, at this stage I thought our chance of second place might be over, but without knowing he had the time penalty. But anyway, into the second to last corner, we've got to take this pretty well, else we're going to struggle to get back past him. You can see he's actually made a bit of a mistake there, Alberto, and we're going to have another opportunity to get past him here. So we're going to be in the DRS. We could possibly go for a move here in the final corner, I should say, but not going for anything too aggressive when we've now got a real opportunity here to make our move on Alberto. DRS open, we're going to go into rich mix now, and I was expecting him to defend, but he actually didn't, and we're going to take P2 off him. And the reason he didn't defend is just because he wanted to go as quickly as possible to try not to lose any more positions due to his penalty. So I was pretty surprised, because I obviously didn't know about that penalty, so I was really surprised that he didn't defend, but I understand why now. And you can see I'm defending myself here just because I thought he's going to be desperate to get that P2 back, but he was going to lose it anyway, so he's not really putting up too much of a fight. Aresi's long gone up the road. He's going to take the win here today, unless he gets a puncture or something in the last lap, considering how early he pitted. But Alberto's pretty close to us there. He actually had a look at the inside, but into that corner, that's never really going to work unless you're in the wet conditions where you're going much slower. But anyway, into the hairpin now, pushing as hard as possible, still thinking that Alberto does not have that penalty. And you can see behind him you've got Simo and Synthetic, who had good pace, and actually I think Synthetic had really good pace on the soft tyres, and he really started to catch up myself and Simo as well in the second stint, so fair play from him. He's got good pace. Ali K I think was down in 8th or something, so we're going to gain more places on him today in the championship fight, and we've pulled away from Alberto. See, Aresi in front's actually slowed down quite a lot, and I actually thought at this stage he had a puncture, but he actually didn't, and you can see he's weaving to celebrate his win, so fair play to him. But we're going to come towards the line to take another second place, 2 in a row at this stage, and that is a great result for us. Brilliant for the championship as well, and it's another podium from 4th on the grid, so that's a great result considering how bad I felt around this track earlier on in the week. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. That's still me 3rd in the championship. I think at this stage I was 8 or so points off the lead, 11, 12, I don't remember, something like that. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed, and leave a like if you have, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye.